My mother attempted to secretly arrange for my newborn to be adopted, believing my child would overshadow my sister's upcoming wedding. I took legal action, and she's now facing consequences. My sister's wedding is set for later this year, and I welcomed my son about 3 weeks ago. Everyone was thrilled except my mom, which didn't surprise me. She's always prioritized my younger sister, her favorite. I got pregnant some time ago, and my sister got engaged when I was 6 months along. Simple math shows I'd have my baby before her wedding. My sister wanted a lavish, elaborate wedding, which takes time to plan, and she and her fiancé were upfront about that from the start. A few weeks after their engagement, my mom visited me looking anxious. She insisted I do something about my pregnancy to avoid upsetting my sister. My sister and I aren't close. She's spoiled, and we've had no contact since our dad passed away a few years ago. I only stayed in touch with Mom because I promised Dad I'd look after her, as he didn't trust my sister to be responsible enough. Despite Mom favoring my sister, I tried to maintain a relationship with her until recently. When Mom came to tell me about my sister's engagement, I thought she was just sharing good news. Instead, she claimed my pregnancy would steal attention from the wedding, as a baby is a bigger milestone. I told her she was being irrational. Nobody would skip the wedding because of my child. Plus, I wasn't invited to my sister's wedding, just as she wasn't invited to mine, since we're not friends. There was no way I could overshadow her event, especially since I'm not some celebrity whose baby would make headlines. I thought my reasoning was solid, but Mom demanded I hide my pregnancy and baby from family and mutual friends to protect my sister's spotlight. I found this absurd, and we had a massive argument. I stopped talking to her afterward, feeling guilty about breaking my promise to Dad, but seeing no other choice. She was acting unreasonable, and I was already stressed from pregnancy. She wasn't involved in anything after that. My husband and his family supported me and our baby, while Mom didn't even show up for the birth. My husband called her that day, but she was out with my sister and likely wouldn't have come anyway. I'm not her priority, and I've accepted that bitter reality. If she could abandon our relationship just because she thought my baby would steal my sister's attention, I had nothing left to say. We had no contact until she called me a few days ago. When I didn't pick up, she texted urgently, saying she had critical news. I didn't want to talk, but my promise to Dad nagged at me, so I answered. I'm glad I did. It's how I learned she's in legal trouble for trying to put my baby up for adoption without our permission. The adoption agency discovered her fraud. She falsely claimed she had power of attorney, saying my husband and I were unfit parents due to addiction, with fake court documents to back it up. As the supposed custodial caretaker, she tried to proceed with the adoption, but the agency quickly realized the documents were forged and halted the process. They informed her they were pursuing legal action and would serve her soon. She called me, crying, begging for help, hoping I'd intervene. I couldn't believe she expected my support after such a horrific act. I could understand her obsession with my sister's wedding, but trying to adopt out my child was unforgivable and foolish. It's only drawn more attention to me. I hung up, feeling no sympathy. She deserved this, if not worse. Later, the adoption agency contacted me to confirm the situation, and my husband and I decided to take legal action too. We consulted a lawyer, filed a civil lawsuit, and criminal charges were also pressed due to the severity of her actions. Mediation is unlikely. She's facing possible jail time, though she might hope for a plea deal or settlement. She's under house arrest now, but keeps emailing me, apologizing and begging for help. She claims she acted out of frustration because I refused to hide my pregnancy for my sister's sake. I ignored her until she brought up my promise to Dad, saying this wasn't taking care of her. That hit hard. I didn't even know she was aware of that private conversation with Dad. It shook me, but I've decided not to drop the lawsuit. She brought this on herself, and I'm done letting her manipulate me with that promise. I've honored it for years since Dad's death, despite her disregard for me, but this is too far. Using Dad's memory to defend herself is low. Many have criticized me for upholding that promise so long when Mom clearly doesn't care about me. Losing a parent is heavy. Dad died of cancer, and that promise was made on his deathbed. It's not something I take lightly, which is why I tolerated her for so long. But this crosses a line. My husband agrees I'm making the right choice. I'm not even asking for much, just what I've spent supporting her over the years, since my sister never contributed. Dad left Mom a house and plenty of money, so she'll manage, and her brother can step in if needed. Even if she loses everything, it's not my concern anymore. I've tried my best, and it's never enough. I'm done being a dutiful daughter. My only priority is being a mother. It's been weeks, and we're trying to settle the civil lawsuit out of court, but it's not going well. Mom gets emotional, screams, and derails mediation sessions. I'm not sure if it's a tactic or if she's unraveling, but it's just delaying the inevitable. My uncle contacted me arguing the settlement amount is too high and unfair, saying I'm ungrateful since she raised me. He called her actions a small mistake, but forging documents to adopt out my child isn't minor. It was premeditated. If the agency hadn't been thorough, she might have succeeded. The more I think about it, the less forgiving I feel. I'm only demanding what I've spent on her, nothing more. But my uncle still thinks it's unfair. I got frustrated and told him to pay the settlement himself if he cares so much. He yelled, called me names, and I ended the call. I don't want to ruin my decent relationship with him, but he's pushing me. My sister's been worse, painting me as the villain, claiming I'm suing out of spite for not getting enough attention. She's spreading this to everyone we know, forcing me to answer questions I didn't want to address. It's personal and disturbing, but I'm responding because I might need family to testify if this goes to court. Her narrative, that I'm vindictive, is absurd. She doesn't grasp the gravity of Mom's actions. This isn't petty sibling rivalry. It's typical of her self-absorption. She's Mom's true daughter. Ironically, Mom wanted my sister's wedding to be the family's focus, but her actions have made this scandal the real highlight, overshadowing everything. It's almost poetic justice. Her wedding can't top this gossip too. Mom has agreed to our settlement terms and will receive the money. She's still facing trial for criminal charges, and her lawyer is fighting to avoid jail time, but it looks unlikely. The prosecution has asked me and the adoption agency staff to testify, along with my sister and some family members. Things are going well for my family otherwise. We even took a short trip to visit my husband's grandparents. They supported my decision, saying Dad would have backed me too, which eased my guilt about breaking that promise. The trip was refreshing after such a distressing ordeal. Mom's behavior in recent mediation sessions has improved, likely her lawyer's advice, since screaming wasn't helping. She barely looks at me now, which is fine. She doesn't deserve to. My uncle and sister keep spreading negativity, but I don't care. Those who support me will, and gossips will stay out of it. As long as that holds, I'm okay.